Hello and welcome to this episode of Foundation. We find ourselves looking over the first part of the castle that we had to go at building last episode. We are going to be expanding that out quite a lot this episode. Specifically, I'd like us to build some of the things that we unlocked, such as the courtier. I'd like to start making some war rations and also making some weapons that we might be able to sell, as I'm hoping that that might have a positive impact on our treasury. But one of the first things I want to do actually is to unlock our final trade route. If I come up to our royal book and look at our trade routes, you can see that we now have enough kingdom influence to unlock this final trade route. And that means we're going to be able to sell weapons and also marble and gold ore, which we sell as well. So that's another buyer for those items. I would also like to send out our castle company out on another mission, but we are just waiting for 3 of them to finish getting trained up. So I'll need to be a bit patient on that one for a few more minutes. For now, let's have a look at building a royal courtier extension onto our castle. Here we go, we have the royal office down here. There we go, and I think I'm happy with that for a start on this royal office. So as soon as I've got enough money, I will go ahead and build all of that. And another thing is that this actually needs to be in a heavy fortification area. So after this, I might go ahead and unlock the castle fortifications, see if that offers us any new kind of build stuff. Otherwise, I might just end up encasing this whole area in a heavy fortification wall. And seeing as our happiness is pretty high, to speed this up, I think I'm actually just going to head and get a levy out for the first time in about 10 episodes. That does have a minus 30% impact on the happiness, which is pretty big. We might need to turn down the taxes for a moment, but I think it's worth it. There we go, now we can go ahead and build all of that. So on the progression menu, to get that heavy fortification, this is what I would really like, which is actually in the tier 3 of the kingdom pathway. So I wonder if we can get as far as unlocking that today. That means we need 75 kingdom splendor, which should be achievable. And I think I'm going to go ahead and build this bow warfare first, because we've got quite a lot of spare cloth and wood, and we've got enough tools, so I think that would be a good weaponry to start with. So now I can go ahead and add a sub-building, and I can go for the bow encampment. There we go, and that looks pretty good for our bow encampment. We've got training over this side and some decorations over this side, and that only needs light fortification, so we can go ahead and build all of that. And another thing we unlocked is this provisioner, which creates war rations, which I'm assuming kind of improves our chances of success when we send our people out on missions, so I think that could be quite a good thing to build next as well. And that is available just down here, and boar seems to be what we normally have the most spare of out of boar, wheat and milk, so I think we'll probably go for the boar war ration option. There we go, and I think that's a pretty good provisioner, so let's go ahead and build all of that. And I will assign them to cook with berry and boar for now. So it had been a little while since we'd done any sort of building time lapse, so I thought it might be nice to watch that castle go up in real time. And I'm really happy with how it's turning out. They're just finishing off the last few bits of it. And we can add a company over here, although it does look like we need a couple more bodies. So now we have added a bow company, and I can add 4 archers for now. We will need to wait for someone else to turn up. And they're actually not going to be able to get going until we have any short bows, which we can't unlock for a little bit. So we may need to build a spear company as well. Spears are what we have. And I'm going to go ahead and just quickly build a couple more dairy fields as well down here to help a bit with keeping up with our refined food. So let's go ahead and build a spear encampment along here as well. There we go, we can go ahead and build all of that for the spear encampment. And with that we have reached Kingdom Tier 3, which if we go into the progression menu, means we can unlock this stone castle wall, although actually we need to get castle fortifications first, and now we can get stone castle wall. And I will also unlock this Tier 3 kingdom privilege while we're at it, because that is always helpful. We can go ahead into our royal book, look at our privileges, and put something in this empty slot. So the English on this description of the protection taxation is a bit strange. If deploy a company on a military mission, taxation accumulation speed is increased by 50%. But that sounds like a good thing to me, so I'm going to go ahead and select that one. And our Castle Company 1 is ready and has no issues to get ready to go on a strategic patrol. I wonder if they could do one of these as well. Yeah, I might send them out on this one, which means we receive refined food if we do well in it. It does mean weapons might break and combatants might not return from this mission, but I think that's a risk I'm willing to take on their behalf. So let's go ahead and deploy this company. And we can now come out and paint our dairy fields because they are finished being built. There we go, that dairy field is all painted out. Let's go ahead and do the second one. There we go, that's looking good. Oh, and Castle Company 1 brought 23 loaves back with them. That is a small amount, but nothing to sneer at. Let's see how they're doing. Looks like one of them may have actually been killed in battle, from what I can tell, and has also lost their weapon, potentially. And we can employ another company in this spear encampment. It seems to be that you just create new companies with 5 people each time you build an extra of these things. You don't necessarily expand your existing companies. I think we could also probably build one more little wheat field in here in order to up our bread production just a tiny bit more. And it looks like we might need one more mill as well. It's perhaps a bit strange to have the windmill over this side of the map, but there's basically just a lot of room for housing over here should the people need it, and it won't take very long to carry the wheat over here. Maybe it would look nice next to the field though. And the only type of encampment we haven't built is a sword encampment, which we also can't do a bit like the bows yet because of not being able to create or make swords yet, although we could import a few if we wanted. So I'm going to go ahead and build that as well, just so we've got all of them covered. There we go, and I think that training area is looking pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and build all of that. Oh, and I hadn't realised, but actually we'd also unlocked the spearmaker's hut, the bowyer's hut, and the swordsmith all down here, so it looks like we actually can build these things, and they want to be in a light fortification area, so it seems like the obvious choice to build them somewhere near the castle. So let's go ahead and have a spearmaker here. And a bowyer over here. And finally a swordsmith just here that will look much better once I've moved this lumber camp out of the way. And the final things we unlocked with our fortification was this light fortification tower, this heavy fortification tower, and this just castle fortification. I don't know if that means heavy or light, to be honest. Ah, looks like I can choose. This one provides light passive, and this one provides heavy passive, so that's what we're going to be wanting to surround our castle with. And then we can just have one big stone gatehouse. And we can come and build out this little wheat farm, so I will do that here. There we go, and we can also start to employ some millers to start turning some of our excess wheat into flour. Looks like this spear company have a fair probability of success if I send them out on this strategic patrol, so I think I'm gonna get them to do that. There we go, let's see how they get on. This bow company still need weapons before they can do anything, although we do now have 2 weaponsmiths working in here. And it looks like these lumberjacks have finished clearing out this area pretty much, so I'm going to go ahead and move them down. And we had 1 wounded soldier and 1 loss on our mission, so could be worse. So we can replace this militiaman who sadly died while he was away. And we can employ 2 spearmakers here. So I'm going to now go ahead and build this heavy castle fortification all the way around our hill up here. There we go. Now as soon as I build this, and as soon as it is actually built out, we should have heavy fortification coverage for this whole area. There we go. Okay, and let's make our final company for today, which is going to be this sword company, and add 5 people in there. They obviously won't be able to go out and fight until we've started producing a few swords, which we are doing here. So it's probably going to take quite a while for this heavy fortification fence to be fully built out, at which point we'll be able to put a royal courtier in place. So for now I will leave this episode here, looking over the progress that we've made today. Really happy with it, really happy with how the castle is coming along, and looking forward to continuing down the kingdom pathway next episode. As ever, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.